And I'm going to be doing this every week. I'll be making a video with tactical explanations, trying to show a tactics board, show footages of the game, not full footages. I don't want to get copyrighted, but show some passages of play where I felt were important in the game. It might not have led to a goal. It's just patterns that I recognize that I see occurring during a live match. And I'll be trying to do this for at least one of United's game every week. Might not cover all of the games because we might be playing 2, 3 games a week, but I will be trying to cover at least one game a week, and I will be putting edits of tactics boards in those coming videos. I just had to make one video to talk about the new season, to talk about how I'm feeling about the new season. And that's what this video is. It's my thoughts as a United fan about the season that begins today. So if you're seeing this on Friday, then yeah, it begins today. We play tomorrow though. We play our first game tomorrow. I think it's a easy one for us. I think we should win our first game. My headache with our current squad is that we have no real depth, and I don't think we have good enough fullbacks. Dalot, I think he covers the ground quite well, yes, but I think he lacks a positional sense of where to be, especially in defensive transitions. I think he rushes into challenges and he's actually bad at them. Aaron Wan-Bissaka was definitely a much better defender than Delo. And I just don't think that if you are a club that should be in those spots, I don't think Dalot and Shaw should be your starting fullbacks. We have no crosses from those guys. Their crosses are poor, they have poor touches. I'm just tired as a United fan of going into the season and having Dalot and Shaw as my starting fullbacks. That's just the truth. Shaw, I believe, is all right. It's not great, it's not good, but he's all right. I think that's the problem with both of them. Is I'm not here trying to say both of them are bad. I'm here trying to say both of them are right. And if you are going to make a winning team, every single player that starts for you should be good or better than good, right? And we just don't have that in fullback side of things, right? I think in centre backs we have Lisandro. I think Lisandro is good. Some say great, but for me, I'm much more on he's good. He's a good center. I think Heaven has promise. I think Euro has promise. I think the light when he's on form, when he's playing really well, I think he's top. I really do rate Delete when he's on form, and I think he's back soon. So maybe in the next 3, 4 weeks, we can get him back to his best, and we can start playing more games. Because I think he definitely starts. I think it's Delete, Martinez at centre back for me, not Maguire, not Heaven, not Euro yet. I do believe that Euro and Heaven have the potential to be great. I think Euro especially is a very tidy defender. But my problem is with our fullbacks. We should not be starting another season, going into the season, expecting Shaw and Dalot to be our starting fullbacks, right? And then going into the midfield, I think Telemans is a shrewd signing. It makes sense. The price isn't too high. He's 29. He's at his peak. He's playing good football. He's a very good deep line playmaker. But the problem I have with our double pivots is that they are all deep line playmakers. Like, they're not necessarily great defenders, but they're good at one thing, keeping the ball. Mino is a very good playmaking, keep the ball kind of player, keep the tempo. Very good. I like it. Selemans, same thing. Can spot a pass, keep the ball going. Andre Santos, I have my slight concerns about. he didn't exactly light the world on fire playing for Chelsea. So I don't know what we've seen that has made us get him. I did see some stats that says he makes a lot of progressive passes and he has a high completion rate in terms of progressive passes, which is a good thing for a player playing in that position. But again, I just don't see him as that big energy, space covering, space eating midfielder that we need. We need, because if you're going to have Shaw and Dalot as your fullback, you need a midfielder that is able to shuttle and cover those grounds when they're positionally lacking. And I think we're looking at Baleba currently. By the time I post this, it could be that he's signed. If he does sign, it would be my most exciting signing of the summer would be Baleba. It would be the only one that I think, yes, that is what we definitely needed going into the season. And I would be so happy to have Baleba. But we cannot go into the season without another left back. We need another left back. 100%. This is not argue about. Any good United fan wants us to have another left back. Because Shaw is definitely not playing 50 games a season. And it seems that Carrick would rather play Doug as a left winger or left midfield. We need another left back. So if Baleba comes in, I would expect that we do business for another left back. I think I saw some reporting on David Raum, and I think David Raum would be good for us in terms of his ball carrying ability and his speed. He's fast. In terms of his ball carrying ability and his speed to go up and down the flanks, I think I'll take David Raum for sure. I just haven't watched enough of him to say that he delivers the best crosses. But we need our fullbacks to deliver crosses. We can't keep going into this season with fullbacks that can't cross. It's tiring to watch a United game and watch Dalot try to cross. I feel pained. It's bad. We need help. So, Baleba, complete the signing and get a left back. If we can get another right back, I'll take it. If not, I'll suffer one more season. But we also should be thinking about getting a striker. I want Mbeumo and Ahmad to lock down the right wing and not have to worry about playing up front for us. We let Zexi go. Not because I think Zexi is poor. I think Zexi is a great striker. It doesn't fit into how we've played in the last 2 seasons. He has very good link-up play. His passing is great. His dribbling is impressive. His hold-up play is good, but he needs to work on the strength, pushing and holding back defenders. But he makes up for it with his link-up play. He's a very intelligent striker. His positioning is great. The problem is his speed, right? Every time I watch him, I think if he could be 2 yards quicker, 3 yards quicker, and does have that threat to go in behind. He doesn't have to always do it, but there's a sense when defenders are marking a striker and they know that he's not quick. They feel less pressurized to cover the space in behind them. And I think that happens a lot when Zex is on the field, is that they feel less pressure to step back and give us space as we progress up the pitch because they feel they can get in behind and stop Zexi from running in behind quicker. You're right. It's like his pace is not a problem for them to handle. Whereas when Sesko is on the pitch, you notice that defenders don't like to hold a high line against because he can hold up the ball and he can run. And the threat of running in behind, they have to respect that threat. And that makes Sesko such a problem because you're not going to get the ball off him and you're not going to let him run behind. So what do? All right. You have to pay so much attention to your positioning when you're playing against a striker that's strong and also fast. This is the same with strikers like Haaland, same with Mbappe. because you must cover the space behind you. Because if it's a foot race, you know you're losing that foot race. And if you're losing that foot race and he's one-on-one against the keeper, he is going to score, right? The higher chance that he scores. So you'd rather he has the ball facing back, or you rather he doesn't have the space to run into, right? So you step off more often than not. And I think defenders don't step off Zexi because they think he's not going to run behind me. What Zexi is really good at is link up play, finding the passes to the wingers and things like that, which is great. But if we have Tillmans and Baleba, I don't think we would need a striker to do that as often, because we have midfielders that have good passing range behind Bruno, who loves to force long pass. He's good at it, but a lot of the time he does force it. He loves to force it happen, and he's now playing higher up the pitch, right? So there's less pressure, and there's less instances where I believe going into next season that we would need for our striker to have to link up to the wingers as much. So that is why I don't think Zexi is the guy for us. And if we're going to stick with Carrick, they should sell Zexi and bring in a fast striker. Speed is very important these days for strikers. Our attack is much better when they don't have to slow down. We're much better in attack when there's chaos. Problem though is that behind us on our defense, they don't seem to handle the chaos very well. That's why you need Baleba. Because without Baleba or without a space-eating midfielder, my trust in how well the season goes for us would be much more pessimistic. Right now, I'm talking about the season and what I feel would be the end to this season, to the league. I think Arsenal wins the league quite convincingly. I watched them against City. People call it a friendly, whatever, you can call it a friendly. City were good guys. Arsenal were good guys. What I'm trying to understand is how you intend to affect the game as a team. What is the idea behind why you are playing the way you play? And there's only one idea behind why Arteta plays the way he does, and it is to keep the ball. And by keeping the ball, you negate so much pressure from your opponents because you're keeping the ball, right? If you're on the ball, you're not defending. You keep the ball, you stifle the opponents. You keep them locked in this low block kind of rest defense, and you try to find one or two link-up passes in behind you go where you can get in and have good shot on goal. And they did that really well against City. City couldn't get near it. What is scary about that is that I genuinely believe City is the second best team in the league. If Arsenal are so far ahead of the second best team in the league, I don't see how they don't win the league. Seriously. I've heard people say it's harder to keep the league. It's harder to be the haunted than the hunter. Last year they were the hunter and they finally won. Now they're the haunted and whatever. I do agree. If you've won it before, I believe there's the mental pressure cuts off and you can feel in yourself a confidence. If you've done something before, there's obviously a confidence that comes with it where you think that you can go ahead and do it again. And I think they can. And I would be very surprised come the end of the season if Arsenal don't win the league. But I caveat that by saying that this season, for every other team in the league, this season is the hardest to predict where they could finish. It's the hardest to predict where Liverpool would finish, where Man City would finish, where United would finish. The rest, where Tottenham would finish. Because spend a lot. Let's see how that helps. See if it helps at all. I'm not here to make a prediction video. So I'm not going to say, oh, this thing, this thing. I do believe that Arsenal are the favourites for the league. About United top 5, I think we get Champions League again. And if we do get Champions League again, I think that's a success. I think that's job well done. Give Carrick another year. If we don't get Champions League again, then I think that's a failure. Regression. Even if we finish fifth, I would accept fifth as progress. The continual finishing in Champions League spots, for me, for the next 2-3 seasons, is what I would consider progress. If we win an FA Cup, a Carabao Cup, somewhere in there, that's progress. I would take that. But for the next 2-3 seasons, I want to see us continuously in the Champions League spots, top 5, top 3, top 2. And to me, that's progress. So I'm slightly optimistic that we can finish in the top 5 this season. I'm not yet to tell you we're winning the league. I'm going to keep my head realistic, my thoughts realistic. So top 5, yes. I think we can do that. I think it's definitely doable. That would be progress. To finish in the Champions League spots again would be progress. And also, as United in the Champions League, if we get to the round of 16, I don't care how we do it, whether it's through the league phase or through the knockout and round of 16, I don't care. If we get to the round of 16, I consider that good enough. For the Cups, if you get to a quarterfinal of a Carabao or an FA Cup, I also consider that progress. Get to quarterfinal in either the Carabao or the FA Cup, get to the round of 16 in the Champions League, and finish top 5 in the league, at least 5th in the league. That to me would be progress. That's what I believe every sensible United fan should be hoping we get. Obviously, I'm not saying don't be bullish and shout we win the league. Obviously, we win the league. But other than that sense of being a fan, to be just a realistic commentator right now, top 5 would be fine for me. That's basically what I intended this video to be. Quick thoughts on my feelings about the coming season and what I intend for the channel to be going into this season. There should be a video coming latest on Friday next week with our first game, tactical analysis on our first game. I'll be watching our first game with intent. I'll be watching the Arsenal game. You should check out my Instagram. I'm going to be linking mine to a thread account. I will be posting in real time as I'm watching the game, sometimes what I see in the game and what players are impressing me. I sometimes post about those. See you there.